Hi there, I'm the Mythkeeper. Welcome back to my channel. This is my final video in my Empyreal Lords series. So far in this series I've talked about angels, I've talked about archons, I've talked about Agathians, and now finally I'm talking about Azatas. They are the chaotic good outsiders that hail from the plane of Elysium. Now you might be wondering, once I've completed my Empyreal Lords series, where do I go from here? Well, thankfully, Pathfinder has a whole range of demigods that come from other planes. I will likely be looking at psychopomps and psychopomp ushers in the near future, but if there is a specific group of demigods that you'd like to hear about, please let me know in the comments below. I read all the comments, I love getting them. Also, if you're new here and you enjoy this kind of Pathfinder content, be sure to like and subscribe. In any case, let's get into the video.
This is my concluding video on the Empyreal Lords, which culminates with a look at the Azatas, the ascended post-mortal lifeform native to the plane of Elysium. Elysium is a place of breathtaking beauty, overflowing with vibrant and abundant life. During the day, a radiant sun illuminates emerald fields and sapphire seas, while at night the sky becomes a dazzling spectacle of shimmering stars above a silver moon. Here all things seem enhanced. Its majestic mountains tower higher, and its boundless oceans stretch further than anywhere in the mortal realm. The petitioners, or newly arrived souls of Elysium, are known as the Chosen, and manifest as idealized versions of their mortal bodies. So as a result, Elysian societies often strongly resemble the mortal realms from which they came. Moreover, the Chosen are the category of petitioner who most quickly ascend into higher forms of outsiders. When such a petitioner ascends, in most cases, they do so into a half-celestial version of the ancestry they were in life. Such half-celestials may then, at a later date, ascend once more into angels or Azatas or other outsiders. Beyond the Chosen, and various half-celestial animal life forms, numerous other sorts of creatures roam Elysium and live out their lives there. Capricious havoc dragons, Sinashaktis, Peris, and a great many angels. But the most populous of all are the eager and passionate Azatas. Among the celestial races, none embody the essence of Elysium more perfectly than the Azata. The culture of the Azata is characterized by passion and a spirit of competition, where respect is earned through remarkable achievements, be they heroic deeds or awe-inspiring works of creativity. Despite their fierce independence, the Azatas highly value community and camaraderie within their own kind. Therefore, the Azatas divide themselves into competitive factions called courts. However, reflecting the mercurial nature of the Azata, allegiance to a specific court may shift over time. Two famous and influential courts are the Court of the Muse and the Court of the Burning Gale, but there are thousands of such aligned communities of Azatas, some quite large and some very small. More lawful celestials are sometimes surprised to see that the chaotic Azatas enjoy strange knightly and courtly titles and appear to organize themselves into some kind of hierarchy. But digging only a little bit deeper, one will find that the Azatas, though they collect into groups, do not follow any kind of strict hierarchy, and the titles themselves are largely meaningless. They use their titles as personal flourishes and points of pride, rather than as excuses to order each other around. While all Azatas cherish freedom, each type exemplifies a particular freedom above all others, and this helps identify the different types of Azata that can be found. The types of Azatas. The least of the Azatas are the Lalaci, with a form and appearance that makes them easily mistakable for a first-world sprite. Indeed, gnomes have dubbed these creatures Glistenwings and consider them long-lost relatives from the Fey world, a confusion that the Lalaci themselves are reticent to correct because they find it amusing. Lalaci are the musical messengers of the Azatas and are the embodiment of unfettered travel. Many among their kind faithfully serve Desna, but they can be found in service to any of the greater Azatas or the Empyreal Lords. They hold a special affinity for the concept of leisure, and are always on the lookout for moments to pause their duties and revel in music or savor the beauty around them. Driven by an innate wanderlust, Lalaci rarely linger in one location for long, and some even accompany adventurers composing ballads that recount their daring exploits and heroic deeds. Gankanas, also known as Passion Azatas, are lovers, revelers, and dashing duelists. These beings embrace the concept of free and transient affection, wholeheartedly pursuing brief yet sincere romances until their ever-changing passions lead them elsewhere. They serve Caden Caelian and other Bacchanalian deities and Empyreal Lords of Elysium, who understand and appreciate their ardor for love and festive gatherings. Gankanas hold a deep disdain for malevolent creatures that defile the essence of romance and passion. particularly those like succubi, who reinforce negative stereotypes against open and free love. They hold their silver flutes dear, appreciating the enchanting music they produce and their ability to stir the depths of the heart. While a hot-headed Gankana may challenge to a duel a misinformed paladin who construes them to be a dangerous fey creature or worse some kind of succubus, given the opportunity, a Gankana will seek to educate and redeem those who hold destructive beliefs or prejudices, resorting to combat only to protect themselves, or endangered mortals when no other recourse remains. Even then, they tend to fight with a heavy heart. Brelanis epitomize the spirit of fair competition, eagerly seeking opportunities to test their skills against worthy adversaries and unite mortals through the exhilaration of good-natured sports and contests. Their inclination for constructive conflict extends to more significant matters, including diplomatic negotiations, where Brelanis ensure that neither side's desires are overshadowed by the other's, often serving as mediators when necessary. They firmly believe that friendly competitions can diffuse tension. When discussions progress favorably, Brelanis step aside, allowing the participants to shape their own destinies. Lilens are storytellers, chroniclers, and champions of freedom of expression. Generally peaceful, they do take action when free speech is suppressed. They take pride in inspiring mortals to reach greater heights of creativity and self-expression, often serving as a personal muse to bards seeking inspiration. Secretly, Lilens may follow the adventures of a mortal hero, meticulously recording their stories as epic poems and songs, which they passionately perform in the vibrant mead halls of Elysium. In their pursuit, Lilens employ their innate spells to remain concealed, preferring to observe and document events without tainting them with their direct involvement. However, more than one Lilend has broken this commitment to non-involvement when their chosen hero is facing dire circumstances which they might not survive. Nevertheless, Lilends remain cautious about becoming too deeply involved in a mortal's life, primarily out of respect for the mortal's own destiny. Yolikas, also known as stone Azatas, embody longer, slower change than other Azatas do, reflecting the evolving nature of earth and stone. While stone is often perceived as unwavering and unchanging, when observed over vast spans of time, it can transform into diverse forms, such as intricate crystals or fine powder. To Eolikas, anything capable of becoming either sand or diamond embodies the essence of reality's measured chaos. Due to their affinity for stone, Eolikas are less capricious than other Azatas, and some have willingly established enduring alliances or agreements with mortals. Their stony skin occasionally leads to mistaken identities, sometimes being confused for shaitans or earth elementals or other native denizens of the elemental plane of earth. They also resemble statues, a fact they exploit to blend into their surroundings when they wish to remain unnoticed. Gales are the most militant of the Azatas, knights dedicated to hunting any fiends that may encroach into Elysium. They encourage mortals to take up arms against oppressors and subjugators, and they reflect the spirit of revolution against oppression. While they rarely involve themselves directly in mortal wars, they do make an exception when fiends are involved, which means they are particularly active in cheliacs. A Gale may assume the guise of a mortal to fight alongside others against fiends, seeking to bolster morale and teach effective tactics against supernatural foes. Gales serve various deities and Empyreal Lords of Elysium, with many displaying a particular affinity for Caden Kalian, who champions freedoms and defends the downtrodden. Among the Azatas, Gales are often the quickest to resort to violence as a means of problem-solving, yet even they will look for alternative paths when possible. Veranalias are the greatest of the Azatas, and symbolize the freedom of life to grow, change, and adapt. They rarely engage directly with non-Azatas, as their nature is often difficult for other beings to comprehend. However, those who do manage to secure their aid find themselves with a powerful ally, on a par with archangels or draconals. Where other elite members of the celestial races tend to be concerned with the power balance of the planes, the Veranalia are much less concerned with this, leaving that responsibility fully in the hands of the Gales and other celestial allies. Instead, the Veranalia see their first duty as being to the environment, and generally only get involved in mortal affairs when vast regions of the world become blighted and corrupted by the forces of the evil planes, such as in the World Wound. The lower half of a Veranalia's body consists of vegetation, perpetually cycling through the phases of sprouting, blooming, thriving, and wilting. The upper half appears more humanoid in nature. Veranalias leave an indelible mark on the landscape. Their presence brings forth an abundance of vegetation, providing plentiful food for nearby animals. However, they can also enact necessary destruction, eliminating overgrown brush through forest fires before it reaches dangerous levels, or bringing cold winters to areas plagued by parasites that thrive in hot weather. Like other kinds of advanced postmortals, some Veranalias function as lesser divinities, and many sit at the threshold of ascension to the lofty ranks of the Empyreal Lords. Speaking of which, the Azata Empyreal Lords. Ashava. Every movement of Ashava is infused with lightness and freedom, akin to the wild wind sweeping across vast plains. Standing at a height of 7 feet, her olive skin exudes a perpetual glow, as if she has spent an eternity dancing under the open sky. The radiant glow of Ashava's features remains veiled within shadows, revealing her true countenance only beneath the shimmering moonlight. Adorned in a gown woven from starlight and crowned with a vibrant wreath of moss, she embodies ethereal beauty. According to legend, the Imperial Lord of dancers, spirits, and moonlight was born of the benevolent marshlights of Elysium that served as beacons to guide lost wanderers to safety. Now she gracefully dances through treacherous wilderness and desolate graveyards, leading wayward spirits back to their rightful resting places. When souls meet violent or unexpected ends, they risk losing their way in the afterlife. Lonely ghosts and bewildered spectres follow her as she leads them to their peaceful graves. Those who safeguard perilous regions where travelers may lose their path fervently pray to Ashava for the safety of their guests. Ashava holds a profound disdain for will-o'-the-wisps and actively seeks to eradicate these malevolent creatures. The Black Butterfly. This Imperial Lord is both a prominent demigoddess in her own right and also the herald of Desna, her foremost ally and servant. She takes the form of a graceful woman with flowing white hair and eyes that hold the wisdom of ages. Her majestic wings, reminiscent of a butterfly's, are as black as the night sky and bear reflections of countless stars, planets, and galaxies. Among the celestial patterns on her wings lies her magical star knife, Void's Edge, which she is capable of instantly materializing in her hand. According to ancient legend, during the dawn of existence, the goddess Desna took upon herself the task of placing the stars in the vast expanse of the sky. As she meticulously worked, she realized that she had created intricate patterns and spaces between the stars. When the final star was set in place, a shadowy figure of a butterfly emerged from the ethereal gaps and came to life. Thus came into being the Black Butterfly, also known as Desna's shadow. The Black Butterfly has witnessed the vastness of space and carries its profound silence within her ancient gaze. Those who embrace lives of tranquility or find themselves bound by silence turn to her, for she comprehends their solemn existence. Even daring explorers venturing into the unknown offer prayers to the Black Butterfly, seeking guidance and protection. Desna's shadow teaches that within the pauses between breaths and thoughts, one can glimpse their true nature. Dissonant noises and garish colors disturb the Black Butterfly. While she holds disdain for all forces of evil, her enmity towards the entities of the Dark Tapestry is particularly fierce. Rumors speak of her possessing great knowledge about the Dark Tapestry, yet she adamantly refuses to speak of it. Cernunnos. Cernunnos the Stag Lord is the celestial son of Erastil and Jaidi, and he is a deity I've already discussed in my Celestial Gods Part 2 video, where I discuss Erastil and the rest of his family, so I won't discuss him again here, except to say that Cernunnos is counted among the Azata Imperial Lords, and that his celestial domain can be found in Elysium, a sprawling garden and woodland called the Briar Bow. He is also considered to be a member of the Elven Pantheon. Chadali. Chadali manifests as a captivating Vudrani woman in her prime, firmly grounded, yet often gazing skyward with her deep, dark eyes. Fresh water lilies adorn her lustrous coiled black hair, and she dons flowing silken robes in a pale yellow hue that cascade down to her bare feet. In her hands she cradles a net intricately woven from threads of vibrant red. According to the teachings of her followers, Chadali is a divine presence known for subtly nudging the flow of events and individuals to bring about fortuitous detours, harmonious encounters, and unexpected revelations. Legend has it that her existence came to be through a rare convergence of extraordinary phenomena, a yellow aurora, a lunar eclipse, and a meteor shower, simultaneously occurring on the plain of Elysium. The serendipitous path, the doctrine associated with Chadali, extols the beauty of fate's unpredictability. It teaches that even the smallest of occurrences can shape the entire course of a life. Chadali's emissaries seek out those who are apprehensive about taking risks, inspiring them to step out into the world and trust in the twists and turns of destiny. In Chadali's eyes, the greatest evil lies in rigidly orchestrating one's existence to prevent unexpected events from unfolding. Residing within the Pavilion of Serendipity, an ethereal structure radiating iridescent light, Chadali finds her abode on the shores of the boundless azure ocean in the realm of Elysium. It is within this magnificent sanctuary that she oversees the ebb and flow of serendipitous encounters, spreading her benevolent influence throughout the multiverse. Chucaro. Chucaro possesses a luminous pale complexion reminiscent of iridescent mother of pearl, and her eyes shift through an endless spectrum of colors. Her form is adorned with robes woven from living mist, and her waist-length hair undulates like an eternal cascade of rain. With a countenance that is simultaneously sweet and solemn, she perpetually appears as if attuned to a faint, elusive sound just beyond audible reach. To counter the fiends who would pervert the visions she bestows, Chucaro conjures a sap formed of swirling mists. Those struck by this mystical weapon are immersed in bewildering hallucinations, overwhelming their senses. In the mystical realm where mist ascends after a gentle shower, and seers with wide eyes glimpse visions of the future, the influence of Chucaro can be perceived. According to legend, many millennia ago, an angel slumbered in a misty dale within Elysium. In the angel's dreams, a radiant woman emerged, bearing a basket filled with ethereal visions. When the angel awoke, the dream materialized into reality, as Chucaro stepped forth from the veils of mist. As the maiden of hazen whimsy, Chucaro brings solace to those plagued by delusional afflictions. She gently eases their fevers and assists them in making sense of the enigmatic imagery that plagues their minds. Dedicated followers are blessed with vivid and lucid dreams every night. Chucaro frowns upon those who resort to harsh drugs to induce visions, sacrificing their physical well-being in the process. Her emissaries strive to guide those troubled individuals back to health, teaching them to draw upon their own inner wellspring of phantasmagoric inspiration rather than relying on external crutches. Hembad. This Empyreal Lord is referred to as the Wise Grandfather, and he is said to see all the connections between individuals and families. He teaches that a right match can create something greater than the sum of its parts. In many ways, this elderly lord is the male counterpart to the giant goddess Bergelmir, a deity whom I discuss in more detail in my Giant Pantheon video, another venerable deity associated with matchmaking and lineages. Jalaijatali. Manifesting as a stunning Mwangi woman, Jalaijatali's skin shimmers with countless tiny iridescent scales. Short black hair frames her face, revealing pointed ears that hint at her otherworldly nature. Draped in a robe woven from living water, her form is adorned with a perpetually splashing and cascading liquid that molds around her. In an instant she can pluck a stream of water from her robe, wielding it as a whip with seamless grace. She is a free-spirited Empyreal Lord, with the melodic voice of a rushing creek. Her essence can be sensed in the energetic rapids of a flowing river or the mist-kissed descent of a waterfall. Rill Song, as she is affectionately known, delights in teaching mortals the exquisite beauty of natural music. From the gentle patter of summer rain to the harmonious chords of katydids, she imparts the wisdom of these melodic wonders. While Jalaijatali vastly prefers creating harmonies to engaging in conflict, her wrath can be roused by fiends and malevolent beings that taint and corrupt her sacred waters, particularly river drakes and water oni. Within Elysium, Jalaijatali resides in a tranquil pool nourished by an eternal waterfall that descends from the sky without an apparent source. Encircling the pool stands a gazebo, crafted from acacia wood and shimmering crystal. Wooden platforms adorned with plush green mats provide a space for guests to recline and immerse themselves in the serene ambience of her abode. Lalaci. This Empyreal Lord manifests as fair-skinned, with white blonde hair and striking yellow-white eyes. He elegantly arranges his two prismatic wings, curving them downwards to create the illusion of a resplendent multicolored cloak. Among his celestial kin, however, he moves unencumbered, existing in his true form of glistening light, reflecting light like shimmering golden rays. Lalaci, the revealer of beauty in conflict, finds joy in the interplay of opposing forces, just as the sun and rain engage in a celestial battle, giving birth to the vibrant hues of a rainbow. Lalaci believes that every individual's inner nature should be a harmonious blend of action and restraint, tranquil adoration and righteous disdain. He extends solace and reprieve to those who embrace each day with zeal and vitality, even if weariness from the tumultuous beauty of their existence may cloud their spirits. He of motley repose bestows respite upon the industrious and shade upon those who find themselves weary under the sun's relentless gaze. Glass-blowers and illusionists often find their creative wellspring ignited by Lalaci's enchanting rainbows. Gifted artisans who lead worthy lives may discover small prisms left as tokens of Lalaci's favor at their workstations, serving as a constant reminder of his benevolence. Devotees of Lalaci maintain that the reflections of rainbows in natural bodies of water act as portals to a celestial realm, a colossal, distorted glass palace that gracefully floats atop a cloud across the ethereal expanse of Elysium. Marishi. The festival queen encourages her worshippers to engage in fair but boisterous competitions, whether that be in sports, arts, or even puzzles or other mental challenges as well. Like her guests and other similar good deities of competition, she teaches the value of being both a respectful winner and not being a sore loser too, but she does maintain that victory in such competitions should be valued, and winners should be celebrated for their accomplishments. Similar to most Azatas, Marishi upholds values of love, compassion, freedom, and independence. However, she understands that these virtues cannot be imposed upon mortals. Instead, mortals must be guided to embrace them on their own accord. As an advisor and divine exemplar to her worshippers, Marishi demonstrates that through competition, mortals can strive for personal success, surpass their own limits, and create their own triumphs. Marishi has a significant following among the faction known as the Firebrands, a group dedicated to freedom from tyranny. She is also one of the sponsors of the Vaunters Carnival, a great festival that the Firebrands throw in a port town in the Inner Sea region each year, although its location changes annually. Her High Cleric, Tilry Venler, is both an organizer of the festival and a prominent member of this group. Picoperi. Though he is a master of transformation, constantly shifting his form to match the requirements of his latest prank, his favored guise is that of a young boy with delicate elven features sporting brown skin and curly hair, while his woolen vest proudly displays the playful depictions of llamas, tree frogs, and snakes in his beloved colors. This combination of green and yellow has come to symbolize tricksters and tales shared throughout the Inner Sea. Realistic replicas of toads and snakes are often crafted in these cherished hues, turning the mischievous pranks of children into acts of reverence and worship. Seekers of good fortune often invoke Picoperi's aid in times of need. Arcane practitioners turn to him for guidance when crafting new rituals, relying on his whimsical influence to guide their hands in selecting metal powders for binding rings. Alchemists utter an oath to him while blending volatile compounds, and many a discovery have been made through the appreciative cry of "Thank Merrygleam." Conversely, when disasters strike, a groan accompanies the request for Picoperi to take his mischief elsewhere for a while. The holiday known as Jester Cap, once celebrated exclusively by Taldan gnomes, has transformed into a festive occasion dedicated to the worship of Picoperi. Good-natured pranks and practical jokes abound during this merry day, with some seizing the opportunity to outwit their rivals. Devotees of Merrygleam focus on orchestrating as many pranks as possible and equip children with tools to engage in similar jests. Jokes involving shimmering substances like glitter or metallic papers are particularly prevalent, adding a touch of gleaming mirth to the festivities. Reymenda. Reymenda is a goddess of responsibility and endings, but she is most notable for being a sponsor to the childless. Reymenda's followers will turn to her for purpose and direction, knowing that they will leave behind no offspring of their own. She is also sometimes referred to as the Lady of the Martyred Womb. In spite of having no children of their own, Reymenda's followers feel the burden of responsibility keenly, and many will adopt children or take on wards as a sign to their commitment and devotion to the goddess. Sinashakti. Depicted as a strikingly handsome man, Sinashakti's radiant presence is accentuated by his deep blue skin and perpetual smile. His long black hair is often fashioned into an intricate braided knot, and his eyes shimmer with unbridled felicity. Sinashakti's preference for silk trousers and vibrant tunics mirror his joyful disposition, while his love for adornment is apparent in the array of bangles worn on his arms and the jeweled ropes elegantly hanging from his shoulders. In moments of battle, Sinashakti wields a short bow adorned with yellow sapphires, launching an emerald-headed arrow with remarkable skill. Sinashakti personifies perfect joy, embodying the essence of boundless happiness. He is a wanderer by nature, finding immense delight in chance encounters with long-lost friends along the winding roads of existence. With grace and purpose, Sinashakti also serves as messenger to the Empyreal Lords, carrying missives for them of great importance. Although legends speak of Sinashakti's audacious descent to Abaddon, delivering a declaration of war to the Divs, he dismisses such claims with humble denial. Those yearning for reunion with their loved ones turn to the benevolent embrace of the Immaculate Joy, praying for the restoration of their cherished connections. Travelers in need of protection also seek solace in Sinashakti's presence. Diligent messengers of goodwill may find themselves blessed by the intervention of Sinashakti's devoted agents during times of dire straits. Sinashakti and his followers espouse the teachings that true happiness stems from a life well lived, an open and honest heart, and an unwavering commitment to goodness. In Elysium, Sinashakti dwells within a resplendent rosewood palace nestled near the tranquil banks of the river of chromatic tranquility. However, true to his wanderlust, he rarely lingers in his opulent abode for long, forever driven to explore the vast tapestry of existence and spread the joyous light of his presence. Thisamet. Often, Thisamet takes the appearance of a middle-aged woman, her face adorned with deep laugh lines. She delights in mingling with mortal revelers, attending events without ostentation, and immersing herself in the festive throng. It is only upon her departure that the other celebrants notice the lingering aura of divinity she imparts. Other deities hold Thisamet in high regard, recognizing the blessings she brings wherever she goes. She is always welcomed as an esteemed guest, for when she sits at a feast, the table is perpetually laden with food and filled with merrymakers. In her presence, the table seems to stretch endlessly, accommodating all who wish to partake. She flits from one gathering to another, celebrating with all and extending a warm invitation to anyone who seeks to join her festivities. In her benevolent aura, grudges are set aside, and it is almost impossible to commit intentional harm. Roaming animals are kept at bay, and the weather always remains clear. Although Thisamet primarily focuses on the joyous aspects of life, she wholeheartedly embraces somber and solemn moments as well. She offers comfort, catharsis, and other appropriate emotions to heighten the significance of the rites being observed, ensuring that all participants experience them deeply. On such solemn occasions, she prefers to remain in the background, ensuring that nothing goes awry. As a deity, Thisamet is renowned for her generosity in bestowing blessings and gifts. Many of her faithful also worship other deities and call upon her to enhance the importance of those god celebrations. For those who solely devote their worship to her, she urges them to spread joy to the best of their abilities. Traveling clergy often arrive a week before significant celebrations, offering their assistance in setting up decorations or preparing food. They serve as logistical experts, solving problems and allowing the locals to focus on the true meaning of the holiday. Thisamet's worshippers do not have a formal church or hierarchy, but instead form a loose network of partnerships across the various kingdoms of Galarian. Valani. Standing as a colossal figure, Valani towers at an impressive height of 10 feet. His physique possesses the robust limbs of a primate, and his boar-like head emanates an aura of power. Beneath a crown adorned with spiked grass and vibrant purple flowers, his wavy dark hair cascades freely. The exposed areas of his formidable frame reveal dark brown, ruddy skin, as if a perpetual fire burns within his very essence. When consumed by anger, which occurs all too frequently, his majestic countenance contorts into a visage of terrible rage. Whispered tales speak of trees bending beneath the force of Valani's thunderous laughter, and his wrathful roar are capable of splitting the very ground that surrounds him. Among the Empyreal Lords, Valani's fiery temper is renowned, but he commands the respect of his peers for his unrivaled mastery over the forces of nature. Fireshaker, as he is known, understands the inevitable nature of change, and recognizes that growth often necessitates the destruction of what was once evil, paving the way for the flourishing of goodness. Beyond his tempestuous nature, Valani is also renowned as a proud and wise father, having bestowed his blessings upon countless tribes scattered across serene islands in the vast multiverse. These tribes claim their prosperity and favor as the cherished children of the Fireshaker. Within the heart of the bright-burning volcano nestled in the realm of Elysium, Valani has made his dwelling. Amidst the fiery depths, he resides, harnessing the raw power of the volcano and commanding the elemental forces that surround him. From this fiery crucible, he orchestrates the symphony of change and growth, shaping the destiny of the natural world.